deep state techno-Nazi censorship on social media is not a joke. It is not just an egregious violation of some people's rights, those of us who create the content that all of you watching this video enjoy and have come to rely upon for your source of information about what really matters in your life as a U.S. citizen or as a human being who wants to be free and who wants Big Brother to just leave you alone. No, it goes much deeper than that. Much deeper. Up until the oven mitt fashionista lost the 2016 presidential election, which was, as all elections were going back since the JFK assassination coup d'etat, which the mainstream media was complicit in, social media had no such overt violations. Up until the point in time that the deep state realized that we peons and these platforms were a force to be reckoned with, did this bullshit begin in earnest. You see, my friends, the Kevlar Kunt was not supposed to lose. The machines were rigged. Dead people were voting. Mexicans and illegal aliens were casting ballots. And in short, those who have been blowing smoke up the public ass for over 55 years thought they had it in the bag. But the biatch lost. So, like the company CALCNSR, who continued to manufacture slide rules after digital calculators were invented, it hit them square in the face that if they don't do something quick, their plan to take over the planet would fail. So with us, they started to demonetize our channels. They took down videos that showed that the mainstream media was a pack of commie hacks reading from scripts like cockatoos on perches, repeating verbatim, eerily reminiscent of George Orwell's Ministry of Truth, whatever the deep state talking points were that day. The only constitutionally protected profession, the news media, had long ago been hijacked by the CIA shadow government propaganda arm of the deep state, no different than Pravda or the Nazi news rags of World War II Germany. Now that they realize that social media is to the legacy TV news what Hewlett-Packard calculators are to slide rules, the people who own the slide rule companies want to put those who manufacture calculators out of business. Not only that, they want to force those who are using calculators to go back to using those antiquated pieces of wood with numbers engraved in them. In other words, folks, clumsy analogies notwithstanding, they want to control the narrative. They want our taxpayer-funded electronic infrastructure, the internet, to be exclusively used by those who have been blowing smoke up your ass since before JFK. They want no more challenges to their outright lies, no more exposure of child trafficking rings, drug smuggling operations, or overt sedition and treason against the United States to be discussed. They want everybody to go back to sleep, to go back into the matrix of media-induced comas so they can literally sell the United States to the highest bidder, eat babies like they've been doing since Abram fled out of the Ur of the Chaldees, and they can turn the planet into their unwitting slaves after they eliminate all but 500 million of us, starting with the useless eaters and the yet unborn, who are covert sacrifices to Molech and whose body parts are sold on the black market. Find all of that a bit hard to believe so far? I've got news for you. You ain't seen or heard the half of it. Just what I know and Stoney Stone and Will Kanishi and dozens of my personal patriot friends know and can prove is inconceivable to most human beings who've not yet discovered the secret of how and why they've gotten away with all of these crimes, not only for years and decades, but for millennia. The secret is simple. Don't just commit a crime, but make it so terrible, so egregious, and so utterly disgusting that normal, sane people will disbelieve it prima facie and look at anyone who attempts to expose it as some sort of nut job, a conspiracy theorist who watched too many Alfred Hitchcock movies in their youth and as a result has gone absolutely batshit and is a candidate for the spin bin. The question remains, however, if all of us are merely demented, how is it that what we have exposed these last 5 years is slowly being proven as empirical fact? How is it that our facts come from their own emails, their own TV broadcasts such as Jane Stanley of the BBC on 9/11, their own documents that have never been refuted, There are so many examples that it would be impossible to even list them all. If we are all nut jobs, as they claim, and big tech are merely platforms and not publishers, as long as we, the content creators, are not posting child pornography or anything illegal, why do you think it is that censorship on social media has run amok for so long and is only targeted at conservative content creators? I'll tell you, it's not only because they don't want us to speak the truth and challenge their lies and propaganda. More importantly, it is you, the public, that they're trying to prevent from hearing the voices that challenge their propaganda. When they violate our right to speak and create content, they also violate your right to listen to opposing viewpoints. Because those opposing viewpoints utterly trash their lies and propaganda so mercilessly and completely, they simply cannot tolerate it because they cannot possibly argue against it. The solution is to silence the opposition, just like the Nazis did, just like the communists do. What they're doing to social media is the same thing they've done to news media of the entire planet under the now declassified and publicly discoverable Operation Mockingbird. And not for nothing, they couldn't have chosen a more fitting name, as all the mainstream media stations are using the exact same words, verbatim. There is no more, and hasn't been for over 100 years, investigative reporting. The mainstream news is bullshit, pure and simple, in the common vernacular. Their First Amendment right to speak is the same as yours and mine. We cannot advocate to prevent them from speaking, but we can implore you to look at the evidence that they've been lying to you and have been lying to you for many years, and ask you the question that you already have the answer to. Why are you still listening to proven liars and propagandists who have consistently and constantly proving to you that they cannot be trusted? When the trusted media is finally no more, the only means remaining to spread propaganda is the internet. Stony Stone and I caught the largest search engine on the planet in an attempt to fake the death of Jeffrey Epstein. I also did a critique of the infamous New Zealand fake mosque massacre that resulted in Net4 Truth USA channel being instantly deleted. Links to those videos are in the description. The Techno-Nazis spare no effort or expense to keep from being exposed. And again, not for nothing, President Trump's executive order of May 28, 2020 did nothing to stop the censorship. In fact, it got worse. The truth of the matter is that even the prospect of being shut down doesn't deter them, because the alternative is worse than being shut down. The alternative is being locked up and tried for sedition and treason. You can't prosecute a corporation, but you can prosecute the people who run companies who are fomenting sedition and causing civil unrest. These big tech companies have been started with taxpayer funds, and they rely on their very existence on taxpayer-funded and supposedly publicly accessible resources, namely the internet. The airwaves and other mediums such as cable also use resources paid for by the taxpayers. What they've been doing is depriving some of those taxpayers access to the resources they paid for, and the restriction is based not upon skin color or religion, but on political viewpoint and nothing more. The re-election of Donald Trump must be terminated at all costs, because he, like the protagonist in Law-Abiding Citizen, promises to, quote, bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head, end quote. And amid all of this, the crime of government-entangled corporations who seek protection as platforms while acting as publishers, the act of censoring conservative voices while they promote socialist propaganda, is an in-kind and illegal quid pro quo political contribution. This also falls under Title 18 U.S. Code 1983, 241, and 242. The stealing of conservative creators' ad revenue is breach of contract, and the wholesale theft of these funds is RICO Act violation. Since platform censorship will ultimately fail, the next attempt will be to censor your cell calls, or at least contact trace who us conservatives are talking to. Many of us have already put together lists of subscribers and supporters, and they are already doing it in China. Operation Dragonfly, social scores, coming to a cell phone near you. In fact, this weekend's outages with major carriers was a test of those capabilities. So don't be surprised one day if you're on the phone with a friend talking about how you're going to vote for Donald Trump, or how Antifa is now officially a terrorist organization whose members are declared as non-uniformed enemy combatants, and the call suddenly drops. Welcome to the Ministry of Truth. George Orwell was a prophet. This is Dave from Net4Truth USA, Inglorious Patriots. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your calls of encouragement. And most of all, thank you for your support. Please subscribe to our backup channels on YouTube, Inglorious Patriots, Net4Truth USA 2 Patriot Channel, and Ethernet Warriors. You can also catch us on BitChute.com/Net4Truth USA, remonetized.org/user/Inglorious-Patriots9, and drop.space/@Net4Truth USA. All the links are in the description. We fly so close to the target, we are on our 5th fighter jet. We will be relentless and persistent until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description, but for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/Net4Truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, you can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $ dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.